there in scoring position at second base. Down the stretch. Here it comes. Swing, and there's a drive deep into right field. Way back there. It's a home run for the game and for the pennant. The Giants have won the pennant. And Travis Ishikawa is being clobbered by his teammates as he comes down the third base line, and he is mobbed at home plate. It's Travis Ishikawa. Travis Ishikawa with the Bobby Thompson moment. A walk-off home run to win the National League pennant by Travis Ishikawa. What a moment for the unlikely Giants left fielder for the biggest games here in 2014. Fireworks exploding out over San Francisco Bay as the Giants begin the celebration out near the pitcher's mound. Ishikawa got ahead of the count, and that ball went out to the center field end of the Willie Mays wall out there, right near the 365-foot marker. And it really didn't matter if it went out of the ballpark or not, because the game was over. If it got over the head of the outfielder, Arias was going to score, but that one just kept on going.
That's nicely done, the kid. And by the way, did he not misjudge a ball in this game or not? I don't remember. All forgotten now.
You'll have to ask me later when I have some time to go study the earlier innings.
Unbelievable.
Let me catch my breath. A 2-0 count. Michael Wacha throwing 6 balls in a row. He had to come in, and a lot of guys would say, take a pitch. Let that pitcher prove to you he can throw a strike. But a lot of hitting coaches say, get a good pitch to hit. Travis Ishikawa got the pitch of his life, and he did not miss it. What a way to end it.
Very odd seeing in the Cardinal dugout, Matheny and Lilliquist did not left.
Well, Ishikawa hit a ball very much like that here 2 days ago with that 25-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to left field that looked like a home run, and the wind blew it and knocked it down and blew it out toward right center, and it ended up being a 3-run double. Well, there was no wind here tonight to help or hinder, and Ishikawa got his home run. And for Travis Ishikawa, who a year ago was pondering retirement, figuring that, hey, it doesn't seem like anybody wants me. Maybe I better figure out another way to make a living. This is probably just not going to work out for me. And now Travis Ishikawa is an ultimate Giants hero. He has done something that Bobby Thompson did in 1951 against the Dodgers, a game-ending, game-winning home run for the pennant. And now Travis Ishikawa does it all these years later. And for Travis, a journeyman player, a first baseman who somehow figured out enough about playing left field to do the job there for the Giants. And now he's the hero. The Giants, who could not hit a home run. It was the second game division series when Brandon Belt hit one to win a game, and nobody hit one since. And all the stories coming out of AT&T Park were about how many runs the Giants have scored without getting any kind of a hit at all, about all the wild pitches and the errors and the fly balls and the ground balls that they were using to get runs home. And so tonight in the clinching game, the night they win the 2014 National League pennant, the Giants do it in the historic fashion of the Giants, the team of Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Orlando Cepeda and Barry Bonds. The Giants do it with 3 home runs to account for all of their runs.
Yeah, in a series where they hadn't hit any. And it was the ground attack, and it was runs thrown in. And tonight they tie it up with a home run, and they win the game with a home run.
And it was Michael Morse, a forgotten man, unable to play all through September, unable to play for the wild card playoff and in the division series, and only a pinch hitter in this league championship series. He's the one who hits the homer to tie it, and the guy who's been filling in for him in left field, the unlikely left fielder for the Giants, Travis Ishikawa, an inning later, it's a 3-run walk-off to win the National League.
And I think they found their roles, John. I think they found their roles. The other thing, too, about Morris is now the easy decision for Bruce Bochy on Tuesday is he can DH.
Going to Kansas City, the American League ballpark. He can pitch it 4 or 5 times.
Although you never know about Boch. I really liked him coming off the bench.
But isn't it something? The Travis Ishikawa, and I'm sure some people who are watching and writing and critiquing this game were a bit surprised that Bruce Bochy even left him in the game. That it had been tied up. You go for defensive purposes. But not Bochy. He left him in, and he got him the at-bat of his life. And Travis Ishikawa, one swing in the back, has etched his name in the minds of Giants fans forever. And how cool is that?
Well, I'm looking at Twitter, and there are guys that Ishikawa played with from the Brewers to the Pirates. He's been kicked around a bit. And reading some of the tweets from former teammates congratulating him is a really nice moment for him.
And he really sort of is the poster boy of the Giants of 2014. How is it that the Giants, who everybody that was handicapping those first round series, the Giants were the one that were considered the massive underdog to the Nationals. All the other series, everybody said, these are all going to be tight. 10 series. The one mismatch, really, is Washington and the Giants. The Nationals are way better than the Giants. Most people picked the Pirates to win that wild card game. They had the game at home. The Giants were without their leadoff man. The Giants are short. They were without their left fielder. And their bullpen's a little bit short. They're a little short deep in the rotation. And yet, there are we counted them, 9 players who've been in all these postseasons, 2010, 2012, and now here. And Ishikawa is the 10th guy who was in 2010 and again this year. And somehow that core of players has done it again, but it is Ishikawa who gets the big hit to win it. The guy, there was an emergency fill-in because there was nobody better to do it. The Giants were short, and yet Ishikawa is the one who gets the big hit.
He may end up getting the MVP on this one. I know there are other guys with better numbers.
Where's our ballot?
I know. And by the way, 43,217 here tonight. Not one person is left.
Ishikawa, by the way, if you're going to go by the numbers, in the League Championship Series, 7 runs batted in the 5-game series.
I mean, look, a lot of different people could win it, and it really is kind of secondary to what's going on right now. But I'll tell you this, that was one great moment.
So hats off to Travis Ishikawa, who was always a backup player. He was a role player off the bench. And Ishikawa was on that ball club in 2010 that won the World Series. He got into a couple of games and had a run batted in that World Series. Had only 4 at-bats in the whole series.
And remember, the ring ceremony in 2011, he came in street clothes.
From Fresno.
Yes.
He was a Fresno Grizzly that year.
He wanted to be here. So, a cast-off, really, for Ishikawa, but not so much anymore.
He was a Milwaukee Brewer as a role player in 2012. He was with the Baltimore Orioles for 6 games last year. 1 game for the Yankees, but most of the year in the minor leagues. And this year, where was he at the start? Pittsburgh?
Yes. Opening day, first baseman.
Opening day, first baseman for the Pirates. And then, the upset of all upsets, the Giants' regular left fielder in the postseason, in the biggest games of the year, after he played, 3 games in the final weekend against San Diego, that convinced the Giants, hey, he looks pretty good out there. And what are our options? What's plan B if we don't use him? There is no plan B.
There is no plan B.
But they have erected the stage out behind second base
we need it to rain a little bit, don't we?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that was the last time we saw it.
Mentioned the National League pennant. Yeah, I keep waiting for it to rain. But you know, the one theme that has been so consistent coming out of the regular season into the postseason is that everywhere the Giants have gone, they have indeed been the underdog, and it's been every team that they have played has wanted to play the Giants, and it's come back to the same resounding theme: be careful what you wish for. The Giants have just been magical in this format. Once they get in, it's a whole new season. How they got in, they don't care. They're in. And boy, have they taken advantage of opportunity once again. 3 times in the last 5 years now, they'll be going to the World Series.
The Cardinals, who had been to 2 of the last 3 World Series, in these last 5 years, the National League has been represented only by the Giants and the Cardinals in the Fall Classic. And now out behind second base, they have the ceremony. Joe Garagiola Jr. is out there. Larry Baer, the president of the Giants, the man who builds the Giants ball club, Brian Sabian, is out there, and the manager of the Giants, Bruce Bochy, also out there. And maybe we can plug into the public address and hear Joe Garagiola make this presentation.
I'm sure he's watching, so I get the happy chore of presenting the Warren C. Giles Trophy to the San Francisco Giants, 2014 National League champions.
And Larry Baer takes that trophy and holds it aloft.
You know, before this series even started, you said to me, when will Bruce Bochy get the credit he deserves? 3rd trip to the World Series in 5 years. What does this guy mean to the organization?
There's a reason we're all here, and it's a culture that gets created. Everybody cares about each other in this organization. The general manager, Brian, the manager, Bruce, the players, the coaches, the front office, and the greatest fans in the world.
Larry Baer, Giants president and chief executive officer. And now Aaron Andrews of Fox over with the Giants general manager and senior vice president, Brian Sabian.
But why was this team always able to come out on top?
I don't know. They believed from day one, like a bunch of cockroaches. You got to kill them all off. Right. You're going to get one, you better get them all. They're unbelievable. They believed in themselves from day one, so we're not surprised.
Well, let's get the manager of the cockroaches over here, Bruce Bochy. Boch, you said after Game 3 you were very delirious. You said these games were so hard fought. How do you feel now?
It doesn't get any better than this. I mean, what a group. Nobody has any will stronger than these guys. And to all you fans out there, nobody has it better than us. Thank you. Thank you.
And quickly, your starting pitcher up here, of course.
An emotional moment there for Bruce Bochy as they started chanting his name.
Ready to present.
Now Madison Bumgarner up onto the stage, and he is going to be given a presentation by Joe Garagiola Jr.
Here's some, the National League Championship Series most valuable player, Madison Bumgarner.
And Bumgarner handed the trophy for the League Championship Series MVP, and he holds it aloft, and then he doffs his cap to the crowd from that stage out behind second base.
Absolutely. You know, you just had your general manager call you guys the cockroaches. You won't die. Hunter Penn saying you claw, you fight. What is it about this team that separates you guys?
Well, we have an awesome group of guys here. Couldn't ask for a better bunch of teammates, and it's fun to go to battle with them every day.
What was working, Madison, particularly for you tonight, later in the game?
You know what? Just making pitches and make sure we make them with conviction. And we knew it was going to be a dogfight tonight. They obviously don't want to go home, and we did a great job battling back. I put us in a little bit of a hole there, and Morris came off the bench and had a huge hit. And couldn't be more excited for all those guys.